Today is February 16th, 2026. Yesterday, on the 15th, I went to Virginia's restaurant in Carrollton. Sitting right behind me was a table full of men, and they were talking. Not real loud, but they were talking. With sitting right behind them, I could hear what they were saying. My phone is bugged, so the police and the FBI would have a copy of it. That they listened how I described that Henry Moffey and then the times and dates. If you put it all together, he's the Bill from the Freemasons, he's that attorney Will, he's the one calling himself Karen's Will, he is the retired Judge B, and if you put it together more, he is that some guy named Pete that Dave hired on his own. This is the guy Dave hired on his own. And then if you put out together where September 30th, 25, that biker yells at that girl, and she's the girl at Faith Family Church with the short blonde hair. That said, all that other stuff, how she could have people drug, beat, and raped, and that she was Agent Will's daughter. First she was retired Judge Peter's daughter, then she was Agent Will's daughter. She's just that some guy named Pete's daughter. And her name, they called her Michelle too. Okay, it's a common name, so. And that's one of Dave's girlfriend's dad. There's some guy named Pete, where they said they went to Dave because they were connected to him. Ask him if they could run a con on someone, so they could try to extort money from the government. He agreed to let him do it to me. They made sure he had everything in the divorce. It was his girlfriend's dad. Is that bad? And it was where if you go through where they said it was somebody's drug debt, it's his. Something happened with some kind of drug deal, and he was in debt to some big drug dealers. And where after September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, bikers outside yelling. We found out this whole thing was your family's debt to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes. Well, they said that throughout the whole case. From the beginning, August 30th, 20, and 18, they started saying stuff like that. And they said it was Dave's girlfriend's dad doing it. It is. He's not a retired judge. He's not an FBI agent. He's just some guy named Pete. He's a drug dealer. Okay. And August 30th, 23, about being someone's drug debt. So where they all found out this whole thing that happened here was that family's drug debt to drug dealers. Said, does she even know who you are? No, and I don't want her to know. And he said, she doesn't even know you. If I knock on that door and she answers it, she won't know who you are. No, I don't want her to. You had her skull crushed in, her raped, tortured. And was going on about stuff. And she doesn't even know who you are. Yes, I'm sorry. She's not sorry. And I listened to her friend Matt and her talk on January 13th, 23. Even the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life. Or what happened if we're letting those people be human trafficked? It was your family? Yes, I'm sorry. Your family, human trafficked people, because you were in debt to those drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay. And we found out it was your family that told her new husband they could take his farm. We're having him threaten his farm. Yes, but I wanted that land. I liked it. where that Henry Mafi said that he told Rick he could steal everything from him? That's her dad. Okay. Well, after that, down in New Philly, people were talking, my God, we knew this whole thing was a scam. And everybody was helping that family pay back those drug dealers. Shame on you. You let them rape, torture me, crush my head in because they made a bad drug debt. Let them stand up for what their own wrongdoing. Don't take it out on others. And that guy's kid, Michelle, admitting they even human traffic people to pay back those drug dealers. My God, you tell everybody not to say a word to her. We already knew this whole thing was a scam. Right? Yesterday in Carrollton, the people sitting right behind me, how that everybody knows this is a scam to pay off that family's debt to drug dealers. And we listened to how she broke it down, the different times, the different places, that he's a drug dealer. And it's that some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own, him and his kids scamming everybody. That they lost the backing of the drug cartel. Well, they lost a lot of them in 23 when they were making fun of the FBI for falling for this. In 21, they admitted again they photoshopped that shower scene in the other room. When they admitted they drugged me and told me to say it before. And in September 23, they verified when that lady walked by up in Akron when I was sitting outside with a client that they said even some of the drug dealers don't find this funny anymore. Did she do anything wrong? No. The drug dealers that did this made fun of the FBI for falling for it. They already admitted they photoshopped everything on her and made fun of the FBI for falling for it. Are they going to do anything about this? We don't know, but none of this is funny. Even went to our ex-husband, asked him if they ever said it was the medication making her sick before it was fraud. He said yes, and that they did encourage them to sue them for years. And he didn't say a word to let all those people hurt her. None of this is funny. Well, they lost a lot of backing in 23 for them. Where they lost a lot of people in 21, more in 22, a lot more in 23. Okay. And then last year, where one of the girls that were helping out on this confessed to an agent that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. It didn't work. Okay? And then they started threatening her life. And so, since it's just some drug dealer named Pete Dave hired on his own, his girlfriend's dad, okay? Him and his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, and her dad knowing it. That other girl that was helping out is telling on them. They admitted this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government, and Dave was involved. And she told December 1st, 25, that the doctor before was not one of my words for them, and they lied. She don't know who he is. That guy, Pete, Dave hired on his own, is just some guy Dave hired. And she don't know who he is. He's the guy doing all this. He's the Henry Mafi, the fake FBI agent Will, the fake attorney Will, the fake retired Judge Pete. He's the Henry Mafi, Dave's ex-girlfriend's dad. Needed someone to work on. And that they used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And They admitted Photoshop washing in the shower to make her look weird. And the whole thing was just a scam to extort money from the government. They were planning on scaring me into calling the FBI. They'd open a real case and they'd steal the money. He thought they'd just hand it to him. Well, see, that's where that guy said we listened to how she broke it down. Because I gave like different times, different dates where they say stuff. It's them. Okay? And said we know it's that guy Pete they fired on his own. He's the one doing all this. They lost the backing of the dark cartel. And no, they didn't. Okay? And then that idiot says, you know what he said? First he said, it is what's going on. The feds are after that big hospital up there. That if they're actually releasing anybody's information to anybody that is unauthorized, they're going to shut that place down. And they could get 35 to 45 years in federal prison. Okay? Then he said the people that watch her, they're upset she didn't exercise enough. It's none of their damn business. Huh? You know what it is? I'm not losing weight for them to tell me. And then he said, we were told this, we were going to say something about her taking advantage of her husband. Fuck you. And then we found out that his family was threatening them, and they were friends for years before this. We were told, yeah, what are you going to say to me, bitch? Bitch, what are you going to say to me? What are you going to fucking say to me? We're married, and then what we do is none of your damn business. This is actually still the United States of America, where Kathy Stoneman, his attorney, Carl can marry whoever he wants. It's none of their business. He can do whatever he wants with his personal farm, his money, and it's nobody's business. Still is the United States of America. You know, those fools, if they would have loved their dad, they'd go to him. About 10, 15 years, it would have been theirs. But they couldn't be good to him. They had to have it now, and they tried a hostile takeover where they have beat on him for years. Stole his money, robbed him blind. They thought they were going to do him in. They couldn't have him rent a nice mobile home and be happy and married. Couldn't let him live his life out in peace and just wait their turn. They want it all now, and they want him to destroy it. Where that guy said, well, I got nothing with him. Are you fucking slow? Are you fucking slow? Are you? Because we've been reporting it to the police for, about 6 months now? Them leaving threatening voicemails, text messages. They even beat a horse and poisoned a cat and tried to frame Carl. And they were breaking into our apartment. They committed identity fraud, act like they were Carl, trying to get banking information. They stole things out of our house, and they were playing with our food and making us sick. We found the cap off the milk, and I kept getting sick every time I went to drink a cup of coffee. They were playing with our food. And they were terrorizing, and they're using the police to terrorize them by doing welfare checks at 6 o'clock in the morning. 5, 6 in the morning. It's not funny. The cops said they already knew they were. I said they're using you as a weapon. There's nothing wrong there. He's asleep and you're waking him up. Terrorizing him. They ought to be doing welfare checks on them because they are not mentally right. They threatened. You know, they were so sick, they were already dividing who was going to get what when they got done killing him. It was that bad. Do they love him? No. Why? Because they want him to be happy. They're thieves. That Lester, his stepson, admitted to the boy he beat Carl one day and almost killed him at 70. Started to say he was only 15 years old. It was only like 10 years ago, Carlton. He was in his 20s. Somebody 6 inches bigger and 50 years younger. Almost killed a 70-year-old man. Just telling him not to swear to his mom. Scared of these people, he's scared to death. Huh? And his son, Rick, saying, oh, he's gonna bash his skull and kidnap him, take him out to Youngstown, everything said over to him. He can't, those are federal crimes. And threaten to kill him and me. And breaking in our home, stealing stuff, terrorizing us day and night. Are you slow that you just fucking found out he was terrorizing us? And his second wife's kids, they're not even his. The ones that laughed that they took enough money from him, they each could buy a house and didn't pay it back. That beat on him and admit they beat him and almost beat him to death. One sexually assaulted him in a courthouse. And she didn't get arrested. Ones that I got over 60 grand in checks. They never paid my husband back. What did they do for him? Did they have anything to do with his daily care? No. Weekly, monthly? No. Medical care? No. Did they take care of him when he was sick? No. Do they take him into his medical appointments? No. Do they do anything from him on a yearly basis? No. Like Kathy Stone said, they were using him as an ATM. They took all his money and want more. Then they want him dead. Now, who's taking advantage of who? I have put so many thousands of dollars in Carl, it's not even funny. And then where he would move off with me, we ended up renting this dumpy apartment. That guy said, I heard that horrible place they rented. She put a lot of money into it and fixed it up. Horrible. That's what you do when you love somebody you actually care. So who's taking advantage of who? They're trying to take advantage of Carl one last time by doing him and robbing him blind. And because I won't let them get near him, and I protect him, oh, she's taking advantage of what? My husband? Most women quit working and let their husband support them. I'm out working, spending my money on him. He told me he had never had it so good in his life. He's spoiled. So, since when is somebody's marriage anybody else's business but the marriage, unless there's like physical abuse and somebody's harming somebody? There's not, and it's nobody's business. That's the most ridiculous thing where a man and woman are living as a married couple, building their life, getting cars, buying furniture, buying healthy food, going places, and enjoying their life. Is it anybody else's fucking damn business? It's not. Now, everybody, now that it's came out that it's that some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own, that girl is not a retired judge's daughter. She's not an agent's daughter. She is a drug dealer's daughter. She is that guy Pete's daughter. He is a con man impersonating people. And this is their debt to drug dealers. Something happened in a drug debt and they needed someone to run the con on. And where they said they asked her ex-husband if they could do a tour, and he said yes, if they made sure he got everything. So Agent John, you knew it was that some guy named Pete's drug debt, right? You knew from HIPAA that no, like Officer Mark said, none of Kieran's doctors could ever be with them. It's like a 45-year sentence. 35 to 45. Is that bad just for the dirty doctor scam? You knew that, Agent John. You knew the law, right? Then on top of it, where they said they found out Saturday they could ask somebody right up front on me and then in court, where they paid someone to write that up. Oh, we're gonna have someone write her up. She was insane. Da, 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 da. That's fraud. You have to stay in a state psychiatric hospital, and on your behalf, they go to the courts because they are to do no harm. They're to work only for you and only for you. Okay? Petition the courts for a court hearing. You have to have a court hearing. Competency, sanity. They were saying on her behalf or his behalf, we're here to represent them. They have a severe brain disorder. It's not curable. At least I'm not competent enough to make their own decision. We're pleading the courts for Social Security disability, a guardian, social worker, and so that this person that can't take care of themselves and be responsible for themselves is well taken care of. You're still allowed to have your own attorney, fight it if you want. But that's where they enter that you have this brain disorder. That's not curable. Insanity and mental illness is not curable. Your brain's damaged forever. Like an officer said, we already all know the only way insanity is temporary if it's drug-induced psychosis, where you're like tripping on LSD. And that or someone's flat out lying and it's fraud. Because you can't say somebody is, and then they're not. It's not curable. Your brain's damaged. You have to have that conversation. That judge has to order it. They said they just found out Saturday that it's a federal law. Yeah. You can't just have somebody write up fraud and pay somebody out of the table write up fraud. That's fraud. Then they're saying they have something incurable and the person is fine. That is fraud and they go to jail. See, they said a lot of people found that out. Well, you're all slow. You guys all know HIPAA. You know better than this. Yeah, smack yourself. Oh, Lord. I hate stupid people. And then, where he went out with her instead of you. People I've never met. Do you realize how stupid they look? They're like some couple on another street I've never met in my life. Don't even know they're existed. They're dating. And then they turn around and insult me. And make fun of me that he went out with her. And I don't know who her is. And I don't know who he is. And they're just being insane. Well, it's just like where they've dated all those different women. They were little 18, 20-year-old kids. That's a life lesson, honey. He was using you as free prostitutes. Where I was talking to Danny, you know where Dad, right, when he was younger, he dated all kinds of women? I remember that. Well, that's what he was doing here. He's using all these young girls as free prostitutes. Life lesson. Don't let old perverts use you. Make men respect you. And actually like the person you're with, not just hormones. That old fool used you. And that some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own, he's a drug dealer. And that Michelle with the short blonde hair is his kid, and they're conning everybody with this big scam. Because they think they're so insane. They think the FBI will hand the money. And they have sold government technology. Like she said, they even admitted to human trafficking people. They sold people payback their drug debts. They had all those other drug cartels come down here telling people they were above the law and the law couldn't stop them. You know what they got? Caught under police surveillance with a court order or a protected home custody case, helping out, harassing, armor. And they were breaking who they worked for, what they were doing here. Big, badass, loud and proud. And you know what the cops got them? Where they were telling everybody they were above the law. He said all those people have to show up down here. They all went to jail. A lot of people died. A lot of people were taken. Like Tess said, this whole thing blew up so big before they got it under control. It did. And because of this case, they had legal police surveillance of those people. And if it wasn't for my case, they wouldn't have had a way to the cartel. They wouldn't have found all those victims. They wouldn't have got all those human traffickers and saved all those people. Karen Around the House is part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. I go up in Akron, and that's how they stated she's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. I'm going to go ahead and upload this. It was their way into the cartel. My money agent, John. There's people here from North Carolina. Now that agent is trying to pull a fast one and steal our money. You don't want to be prosecuted, and that's why haven't the police arrested you? That's why a criminal attorney, other police officer, want to know why. If you are not telling them that you are conning the drug dealers to get them, you don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. And like that guy said, we all know none of this is funny that agent told on her before. He talked to her for all that hotline. He confessed on a recorded line. He met with everybody, even knew they were trying to kill me, and didn't blame him for Dave's girlfriend's dad's drug debt. Think about that. It's coming down to that. It's just their drug debt. Running on somebody. And you even said you knew that church was trying to have me killed for a 15-year-old baby lie. And you didn't blame him for trying to kill me. You were aiding and abetting murder. You made fun of me for his girlfriend's dad, apparently. And then some other guy brought out calling on me. Made me beg for my life. I didn't even know who these people were. Open a case and then threaten me if I told you already been seen telling hundreds and admitted everybody knew and they were in your FBI office. Then I Google where all the prosecutor's office, police, and criminal attorneys said it's illegal. It's a federal crime for an FBI agent to tell a victim or informant they can't say anything. It is 20 to life in federal. It's tampering with a witness and obstruction. They can't tell on you for calling it. Same thing. They can't bully you into false statements. Same thing. And they can't turn you back over the drug dealers. And they can't just leave it there. And they can't even try to steal your money. That's like 100 years in federal prison, Agent John. I like my money years. If you are actually doing this out of being corrupt and aiding and abetting attempted murder and stealing from the government, my God, somebody needs to arrest you. I'm going to go ahead and upload this.